The old man stands up. He looks completely stunned. Never before has anything like this happened to me. But how? I'm not an oracle or a prophet. Or is this another riddle from the past that has caught up with me? I must find out. Seeing stories that have happened is one thing, but seeing stories that are yet to happen. I don't know why this is happening now, but there is one thing I'm sure of. This is not a coincidence. This is a sign of coming changes. Great changes. I shared your vision, and this knife tempted me. Did you see what I saw? This has never happened before. Could it be the magic of the object that you brought me? I sense dark energies in it that can cloud and charm the mind. Be careful with this item. It may have tried to influence you, but you managed to overcome its power and subdue it. Or perhaps something else happened to us, something we don't yet understand. Can you see the future? I don't know. Obviously I can, but nothing like this has ever happened to me before. The future never opened its secrets to me before I met you. Gods, who are you and why have our paths crossed? I feel this is not a coincidence. Something monumentous is happening. Destiny is pushing us towards something. But what? Questions without answers. I swear this morning I couldn't have imagined what awaited me. Well, maybe it's the knife that gives you the power of divination. This knife is a powerful artifact, but I feel that its power is of a different nature. No, I felt the same as I do when I tell the past. This is my gift, but manifested in a completely abnormal way. Is what you saw destined to happen? No, the future is not set. It used to be, a long time ago when the god Aridin guarded Galarian. But not now. Prophecies do not come true, or they do, but not the way they were supposed to. I only saw one version of the future, one of the paths leading to it. But the choice has not been made, and our destinies are not set in stone. Do you know who you were in the vision? I don't know. Someone strong and desperate enough to resort to extreme measures. I felt that what I was doing had to be done. Your powers are amazing. A few minutes ago, I would have agreed with you, but the thing that just happened, it disturbs me. My gift has never manifested like this. Something has changed, and these changes frighten me. Well, can I help you? The storyteller nods gratefully. I appreciate your offer. I have reason to believe that somewhere in Cockatrice there is a manuscript authored by an elf from Kionan who witnessed Earthfall. Earthfall? Earthfall is the name given to the cataclysmic event in which a shower of meteorites impacted Galarian in minus 5293. It resulted in the destruction of the human empires of Thassalon and Aslan, which were consumed by earthquakes and massive tidal waves and the creation of the Inner Sea. The cloud of dust thrown up by Earthfall's impact settled in Galarian's upper atmosphere and blotted out the sun for 1,000 years, creating the Age of Darkness. The storyteller's voice suddenly breaks and he stops for a moment. For personal reasons, I would like to examine it, but no matter how hard I try, I have failed to find it. Even in the Blackwing Library, I only found a mention that the manuscript exists and is held somewhere in the city. I feel like we skipped something, I don't know. Well, I have some items I'd like you to examine. Maybe they could tell you a story. The storyteller nods politely. Let me touch them and I will tell you what I can see. The old elf carefully takes Yaniel's sword, Radiance. Powerful forces lie dormant in this sword. It used to belong to an incredibly bright and daring soul. The storyteller's hands run carefully over the scale that still has not lost its shine. Proud Tarendalev, protector of Cockatrice, you devoted your life to serving people. Your death is a great loss. But maybe I will be able to find out something about you that is unknown to your many admirers. The storyteller's hand touches Finian. What a peculiar weapon. I sense intelligence in it, but it seems dented. Ha ha, Grandpa Elf, watch where you're poking your fingers. It tickles. The storyteller fiddles with a fragment of a gold buckle. An old thing, created long ago by divine will, but the power that gave birth to it is lost in the darkness. However, the relic still lives on, though it has changed. I wonder what secret it is hiding. Would you like to know it? Bring me 5 vials of magic essence and I will revive this object and with it, its story. Okay, that's the only one that you told me about? Do we not have 5 vial? Okay. That one's also marked out in red. We may not have the items needed for that. Tell me about Cherendelev. The storyteller takes a deep breath and smiles. I am flying. I can finally spread my wings. I'm gliding over a broad river. The sunset has turned its surface smooth like a mirror, and I see my reflection. It is as if another silver dragon is rising to meet me from the depths. But what is it? The scales on my chest are black, and the darkness is spreading over my body. I wake up. A clear sky sways above me, blazing with heat. I am in human form. The red dust of the wound clings to my cracked lips. Someone is carrying me on a stretcher made of shields and spears. I am so weak I can barely lift my hand to my face. The sight of my own hand terrifies me. It is black and the skin glistens like scales melted by fire. I probably ought to cry, but I only feel hatred and nausea. All these people around me, out of sympathy for them did I choose to leave the mountains. I gave up my flights over rivers. I went to the demon's lair. They don't have a scratch on them, but I am infected with foulness. It's not fair. My life is more precious than their pathetic existence. Oh, how I hate them in this moment. And then, suddenly I feel shame. No, these are not my thoughts. The Crusaders carrying me are my good friends. I am glad they did not suffer, but I hate them and myself so much. Pain and hatred pierce me all at once. It's all because of them. All because of them. Someone walking beside me touches me, talks to me. But the only thing I hear is, your mentor, you will come, you will help. And I lose consciousness. The storyteller takes a deep breath, exiting the vision. Such hatred from Cherendelev? Wasn't she on our side? Cherendelev has come a long way. Her unit was ambushed by demons once, and she was infected with foulness. The Cherendelev you met in Canobris had gone through many trials and regained her former purity. What happened next? The storyteller puts his hand to his forehead. Sometimes the past can be as vague as the future. We all know how Cherendelev's story ended, but the beginning is hidden from us. Maybe if you find something else that used to belong to her, we will know more about her struggle. I think I have another scale. Do you want another scale? Let's see. Tell me about the knife again. This is about the feeding. Okay, tell me, what do you see in Radiance's past? The storyteller touches the blade with his finger. Sadness rings in his voice. Dresden is doomed. Demons attacked right when we lost the protection of the Sword of Valor. My city, my bastion of hope. We built you as a symbol that the lands mutilated by the abyss could still be restored to mortals. Now you are perishing, and there is nothing I can do. We retreat. No, we flee. A frightened crowd rushes out into the night through the southern gate. They are chased by the angry howls of demons killing the last defenders of the citadel. My heart goes out to them, but I'm standing still on the wall. I am covering the retreat. Demons do not attack. They seethe around you, fall from the sky, strike from all sides at once. They can't be stopped, but they can be distracted. I run to the upper floor of the gate tower. Radiance glows with the golden light in my hands. I permit myself to close my eyes for just one heartbeat. I imagine that the soft glimmering of the sword I see through my closed eyelids is the light of the summer sun. I smile. I open my eyes and call out, "Hey, Daskari spawn! Who wants the best trophy of the night? You know my name, Yanil. You know how many of you I have killed with this very hand. You want to curry favor with Darazand, Minago, or the echo of your lord? Bring them my head if you can." Roaring and screaming, they rush toward me in a wave of deformed bodies and unfurled wings. The wave crashes against me, spattering my armor with bloody froth. Broken wings and chopped up bodies plummet to the foot of the tower. In the heat of the battle, I see Joran's pale face down there. He looks up at me in desperation, but he can't help. He's carrying 2 wounded on his shoulders. My city will fall, but my friends will survive. This is what I am fighting for. I am covering the retreat. Who's Joran? Oh, Joran Vane. That's the blacksmith. Oh, wait. Oh, he was a friend of Yanni. Oh, that's right. He made her sword. The flow of fleeing people gradually dwindles. My armor is broken in many places, and I cannot heal my wounds anymore. The last demon I stabbed with radiance suddenly recoils, tearing the handle out of my blood-slicked hand. He flies up, but falls somewhere far beyond the walls, by the road being taken by those fleeing. No more golden glow in my hands. The night closes in on me, filled with shrieking, mocking demon laughter. Dresden, I'm dying with you. Light of the sword, righteous Iomade, accept my soul. The storyteller runs his hand along the blade with a sad smile. I know whose memory this is. I've heard about her so many times. Yanil was a true crusader. Touching her memories is so cleansing. Do you see the future of this sword? Just one of the numerous possibilities, the blind elf touches the sword held in metal, rings in his voice. I slide out of the sheath swiftly. I proudly watch the army of warriors led by my lady. I sing, slashing the air, putting courage in their hearts. I am radiance. Tremble, city of Dresden. My lady Yanil has perished, but I am not done yet. Charge. The storyteller returns the sword to you. It is nice to know that this sword's glory days are not over. It has many battles ahead. Take care of it. It is a glorious sword. All right, well, what do you see about Finian? Hello, Grandpa Elf. The storyteller carefully takes Finian from your hand. Hello, Finian. He closes his eyes and takes a deep breath. His face contorts into a painful grimace. I'm coming to again. How long have I been here? They kept me in a cage for 3 days. I know this because 3 times the light under the door disappeared for a long time. Then they chained me to the table in the blacksmith. Everyone calls him the bladesmith. Oh, the bladesmith, blacksmith. He placed a device with a jar over me. It feels like I'm being fried. At first I tried to break free, but I got tired. Then I screamed. But now I've lost my voice, though the pain is burning right through me. The storyteller stops. His voice changes, becoming more frightened. I think I lost consciousness again. But when I wake up, the pain was gone. And I wasn't tied to the table anymore. I was standing near it, and someone else was lying on the table, a burned corpse covered with a black crust. The master took out a handsaw and was sawing off his head in a very focused way. I should have run back then, but I couldn't for some reason. This burned corpse had a symbol on his belt, just like I do, an eye and a star. My favorite belt, a good one. Where would a stranger get one? It must have been someone from my clan, some distant family member? The storyteller stops. When he speaks again, you hear only a muffled whisper. Those crusaders, I was glad when I saw them. I thought they'd come to help, but how? How was it that I killed them all? Someone told me to, and I obeyed. I don't understand. I understand nothing now. I need to catch my breath. I need all this to stop, even for just a minute. I just have to understand what's happening to me. Just need to rest. The storyteller shakes his head, slowly coming to his senses. That is Finian's past, but what awaits him in the future? The dead have no future, but... The storyteller smiles. I see an endless ocean on a good day and a boat flying over the waves. I'm so excited, but I don't know whose vision this is. Is this a soul existing here and now, or a soul reborn? Thank you for your story. Aww. The storyteller gives Finian back to you. Please take care of this young lad. He is finally in the right hands. Is he? Aren't I evil? Do not worsen his suffering by involving him. Oh my gosh. Involving him in dishonorable deeds. Oh, I'm sorry, Grandpa Elf. I'm sorry, Finian. Okay, I don't think we have the stuff for this. Well, that's so rude. Oh, Finian. Come on, Grandpa Elf. I can take care of myself. I'm not a kid. I don't know what horrors you were talking about, but don't you worry about it, all right? Look after yourself. Oh my gosh. Return with new stories and I will be waiting. That was a lot. What's my inventory? What did I need? I needed like, did we complete that? I guess so. Where is it? Is that that's not our companion quest. Is that like an errand? Yeah, here we go. Restoring an old buckle. Is ready to revive the ancient artifact. To do this, he will need 5 vials of magic essence. Do I have a search bar? Did I? Yes, I do. Okay. Magic. Okay, I only have 2. Oh, I have a belt. When did I get this? Oh, no, it's a ring. Luck bonus on saving throw. Wait, what did that say about fire? Oh, against fire-based effects. Whatever, we're gonna wear it. Okay. There's Barb. Meatloaf. Staunton, do you have anything else to say? Since we're talking to people? No, you don't have anything else to say. Oh my gosh, Nene. Wait, your name's not Nene. Your name's Nene. Your name is now Nene. Nenio. Oh my gosh. Girl, I am pleased with you. I asked you to bring me to safety, and that's exactly what you did. Indeed, having a follower to aid me is most efficient and, frankly, pleasing. With you on hand, I shall conquer new horizons, plumb the depths of knowledge hitherto unknown, and scale the dizzying heights of future discoveries. Nenio stops to catch her breath. What I mean is, I'd like to express my deepest gratitude. I foresee immense potential in our future cooperation. What exactly do you mean by future cooperation? Hand in hand, we will unravel greatest mysteries inaccessible to the minds of ordinary people. Just imagine it, I leading the way, proudly staring into the faces of gods themselves, and you, my loyal follower, walking behind me every step of the way, writing down my deepest thoughts and admiring the profundity of my intellect. If we hold hands, you won't be able to go in front of me and lead the way. You are the catalyst, which, when it reacts with my intellect, will allow the latter to grasp the very essence of the universe itself. Oh my good lord. Why did I let myself get dragged into this? What? Who are you? Nenio stares at you for a while, bewilderment in her eyes, but then it is replaced by recognition. Oh yes, my new follower. So what am I supposed to do? Oh yes, I must provide some verbal encouragement for your as yet modest achievements and try to induce you to strive for more of such encouragement. That is the principle that underpins any training. What am I, a dog? She frowns, but only for an instant. Ah, I see. Your modest nature was unsettled by the overabundance of my gratitude. I do apologize for putting you in such an awkward position. I will never praise you again, unless I forget. But let's get back to business at hand. Your new assignment will be to take me to the inconspicuous ruins that are located in an even more inconspicuous valley lying between Cockatrice and Dresden, as soon as is reasonably practicable. Yes, that word. I'll mark the place on your map with a large red cross, so you won't forget it. Okay, what's so special about these ruins near Cockatrice? I'm glad you asked. This is my greatest hypothesis, my secret project, and I won't pass up the opportunity to share it with you. Because you are my most loyal follower, and you are worthy of possessing such knowledge. Nenio rubs her nose. And also because you are the first person to ever ask me about it. Some time ago, I was walking around the border of the World Wound and I met a strange person. He was wearing a frayed gray robe and his face was hidden behind an odd white mask. Of course, I didn't miss the opportunity to ask him about the reasons for his absurd appearance. And do you know what he said to me? He said, "I am the answer, but what is the question?" Then he walked off in the direction of the World Wound. The next day, after I had already forgotten about the first encounter, I had another similar encounter. This time I met an elven woman, judging by the pointy ears sticking out from behind the mask. "I am the answer, but what is the question?" she said, before taking off toward the World Wound. And then I realized everything became clear to me. I know a mystery when I see one. Consider this one of my myriad talents. Nenio rubs the tip of her nose. After all these geysers weren't simply on their way to a costume party, were they? After examining several maps, I determined that they were all heading in one direction. To a place not far from Cockatrice, a place which is marked as nameless ruins even on ancient Sarkorian maps. That's where I need to go. Unraveling the secrets of that place will be my greatest discovery. It will secure my place in history, or perhaps even in legend. Bless your soul. How do you know where we have to go? Just say that. Do you know how to find a beehive in a forest? You need to catch 2 bees, set them free in different locations of the forest, and remember the directions they fly in. Then you take a map and draw lines showing the bees' routes. The place where the lines intersect will mark the location of the beehive. Fascinating, yes? By the way, forest bees do not make any honey. Nenio sighs. I use the beehive principle here, too. For a couple of months, I tracked the strange people in the masks and observed the direction in which they were traveling, which we have seen some of these people in masks. I collected the coordinates, mapped their estimated routes, and made a discovery. All the routes intersected at the nameless ruins not far from Cockatrice. And what do you expect to find there? I haven't the slightest idea. If I knew what was hidden there, I wouldn't be so eager to go. Oh my gosh. Well, these ruins aren't very far from Cockatrice. You could easily get there all by yourself. Why do you need me? Nenio's eyes seem ready to pop out of their sockets in surprise. Don't you see? This is a legendary secret place. Who knows what may happen to me after I lift the veil and uncover the workings of the universe? My mortal body may be unable to contain all that knowledge. Or perhaps I will ascend and become equal to the gods themselves. I need you to write down everything that happens and report my fate to the interested parties in Absalom. And don't forget to praise me as I deserve while you're there. You know, these ruins of yours may turn out to be just that, ruins. Nenio shrugs. In that case, we'll write this experiment off as a failure and start another one. I don't know which experiment I'll try next. Thank you. Thank you, Nene. Well, now you know. So off we go. Nenio frowns. Did I just make a rhyme? Perhaps I've discovered poetic talent in myself. Let's conduct an experiment. Quickly, say any word and I'll try to find a rhyme for it right away. Iomade. Says, Dascari, go away. Oh no. If you play, you need to pay. Every shade of color is gray. No. Not the best rhymes, don't you think? Well, this experiment was unsuccessful. We learned that I have no poetic talent after all. Nenio sighs. But it's no reason to despair. Having a gift of poetry in addition to my inexhaustible intelligence would have been a little too much. Besides, I am catastrophically busy and have no time to spend on writing poetry. That's great. Also, you know my name's not Girl, it's Kidis. On the grand scale of world history, your name is irrelevant. I have no reason to remember it. You see, the brain of any given individual can only contain a limited amount of facts. I only expend my memory on things that are truly important. The laws of thermodynamics, divine esoterica, planar geography, things that will lead Galarian to a brighter future. Nenio rubs her nose. Besides, what if I make a great discovery, but I won't be able to remember it because my memory is full of outdated or useless information? What a nightmare that would be. What a loss for the whole of Galarian. But you do remember your own name, right? Only so I know what to put for the author's name in my encyclopedia. Are there any names worth remembering? There are, and to my deepest regret, there are too many of them. Nenio heaves a sigh that would befit a grief-stricken old man. The names of gods and demigods, the names of rulers, conquerors, and other persons by some reason deemed great by the people of Galarian, they etched their names into history and, alas, every self-respecting educated person must know them. But there are some names I am happy to remember. Great scientists, some of them divine, others mortal. True keepers of knowledge and great experimentalists. The pioneers of knowledge. Irori, Nethys, Arli Verlish. Who's Irori? Irori, also known as Master of Masters, the Enlightened One, and the Perfect Human, is the god of enlightenment, self-perfection, knowledge, healing, and inner strength. His followers claim... Where was I? His followers claim that he was once a mortal who achieved absolute physical and mental perfection and thus attained divinity of his own volition. He is one of the core gods, if not the most powerful deity of the Vudrani pantheon, but has an increasing follower in the inner sea region as well. I feel like we made a missed opportunity to be a water person. For real. There's so much water mentioned. Nethys. Nethys, also known as the All-Seeing Eye, is a Garundi god who holds knowledge and magic above all things. He gained enough power to witness all things and thus both fueled his divinity and shattered his mind. He is a god of magic, torn between destroying the world with one hand and saving it with the other. Oh dear. Let's see. Arlie Verlesh opened the world wound. She's the betrayer of humanity. I don't feel like we need to be saying that. We're not that kind of evil. Or we're not that kind of good. Admiring her is going too far, don't you think? No. How about I didn't expect you to mention her? That sounds interesting. You think so? She is the greatest of the greatest. Just imagine, she managed to open a rift from Galarian to the Abyss. No one knew how. No one believed it possible. No one even dreamed of such a thing. And she just did it. It was the experiment of a century. Nenio wipes a tear from her eye. I would have been so happy if I could have been in her place. Of course, some part of Galarian's population died as a result of her experiment, and the Crusaders are still wrestling with its consequences to this day. But the very essence of what oh my gosh, I'm going to have to rename this person, managed to do was a breakthrough of cosmic significance, both figuratively and literally. Sooner or later, the world will be closed. Peace will return to Galarian. As for the victims of the ongoing war, they will be remembered as unfortunate but unavoidable sacrifices made at the altar of science. I don't think this war is science. Nenio blinks at you, perplexed. Were we talking about something? Yeah, go ahead and tell me about yourself. I am an explorer, a pilgrim, a yet-to-be-recognized scientific luminary, future author of the Encyclopedia Galarian and rector of all of Absalom's universities at once. Future rector, I should say. Nenio speaks in one breath as if reeling off a practice monologue. That information should be enough to satisfy your curiosity, because I doubt I will be able to tell you more than that. Okay, do you remember where you're from? That information is irrelevant. I decided to forget it. How did you become a scientist? That information is irrelevant. I decided to forget it. Okay, you have a circle tattooed on your shoulder. What does it mean? Nenio casts a sidelong glance at her shoulder. Oh, that. I do not remember the circumstances of its creation, but I like it. I prefer to think of it as a zero, null, nothing, a center point, an origin of coordinates. It reminds me how much of the unknown world there is to explore. You don't remember getting this tattoo. That information is irrelevant. I decided to forget it. How can you just decide to forget important pieces of information? This is just one of my many talents. The secret is to stop thinking about the things you want to forget. And the main thing is to not remember anything you don't need. To filter it, to get right to the essence. I'll teach you someday, unless I forget. Okay, what's this encyclopedia you're working on? The Encyclopedia Galarianica. Yes, will be published in 100 volumes, 1,000 pages each, plus the author's appendices added by future co-authors and critical commentaries. Addenda indexation is still in question. Nenio looks slightly embarrassed. I just like the number 100, but I'm not sure that I'll be able to keep up within the established word limit. It will be a magisterial piece of scholarship that will become a part of the mandatory curriculum of every educational institution worth mentioning. In it, I intend to describe every object, item, event, fact, and personality that is present on or at least somehow related to Galarian. My calculations show that I have completed no more than 1% of this monumental book. Wow. I mean, 1% is still impressive. Do you remember your parents, your past, or is that all irrelevant too? All of it is irrelevant on the grand scale of world history. I have no reason to remember such things. Yeah. Forgive me for saying this, but you're out of your mind. Nenio stays silent and gives you a puzzled look. What? What were we talking about? Nothing. I have to go now. Nia produces a crumpled piece of paper from her sleeve and takes some notes on it. This conversation lasted approximately 5 minutes. She lifts her chin. By the way, did you know that it is the exact same amount of time the Inquisitors of Cannabris need to find a defendant guilty? But to shake off Inquisitors chasing you takes 5 times as long. That experiment proved that running while clad in heavy armor is not burdensome for them at all. That was very informational. Thank you, Nene. I know your name's not Nene, but we were naming you Nene. I don't remember what I was doing. Oh my gosh. We spent too long talking to her. Yeah, that happened. Okay, let's talk to some more people. I think we've talked to them. That's a vendor. Lann, do you have anything new to say? What do you think of life on the surface? It must be very different from life underground. Of course, as far as living conditions, the surface is definitely a better place to be. It's easier to get good food and water, not to mention build a house and even grow a few things. In older, well-established settlements, you don't have to deal with anything scarier than rats, or maybe foxes stealing chickens. As for the kind of lives you have, I heard a story about demon worshippers abducting a whole family and sacrificing them one by one while the others watched. But there were some brave crusader knights nearby, and they killed the villains and saved everyone. And I heard another story. A young blacksmith lost his arm in a fire, couldn't work to feed his wife and baby. They tried their best and lived from hand to mouth, but they were still destitute. In the end, the desperate blacksmith robbed a traveler one night on the road. But there were some brave crusader knights nearby, and they caught the robber and threw him in prison. Not long after, his wife smothered their baby and hanged herself. Oh my. Up here, the same person can proudly say he's protecting the innocent from demons, and then look the other way while the same innocent starves just because they were born into a poor family. Queen Calfrey prolongs her life with sun orchid elixirs that cost enough to feed an entire city. Back in our caves, everyone is equally poor, and if one person starves, the whole tribe starves. We don't abandon our own in times of trouble. That's the power of a tribe. The laws of the surface are made so that some get everything and others get nothing. I might just be a naive fool from the caves, but I don't understand how it's possible to have so much more and share so much less. Anyway, look who I'm talking to. You must know life on the surface much better than I do. Oh yes, I also have a few questions for our feckless aristocracy. But I guess we'll have to wait until we drive the demons back into the abyss and close the world wound. Lann smiles his strange half-smile, which breaks along the border between the two sides of his face. At the end of the day, the world is full of injustice, but it's also full of mad beasts ready to tear us to pieces. Right? Okay. You said you were prepared to risk your life to do something meaningful. What exactly do you mean? To invent a new salad and have it named after me, Lann remarks grimly. Then he sighs. Truth be told, I don't know. It would be much easier if all I really wanted was to kill demons. And a few more demons. And more demons after that. Good honest rage and no needless brooding. I think I actually envy the warriors who can live like that. But I can't. If life's taught me anything, it's that there are no easy choices. Dying a glorious death isn't enough. Some heroes of the Crusades did that and also saved entire settlements, erected the ward stones. Their actions kept the lands of Mendev safe for decades. That's what I want, for my dumb short life to have meant something. Oh, poor Lann. We read that. You think I have an exaggerated opinion of myself? Some scaly freak crawls out of the caves and wants to take control of the ward stone and flaunt Iomede's banner. Any fool can charge the front lines of the demonic armies and die there. But what good will it do? I want something meaningful, you know? Even if I have to pay the highest price. Especially if I have to pay it. There are plenty of worthier people who need to survive this war and tell everyone else what nutcases we were. Oh, Lann, you're so fatalistic. Tell me about your people. Of course, what would you like to know? You're the only member of the Neathholm tribe to call your people mongrels. Why is that? Because all of Galarian calls us that? I don't see the point of all this hemming and hawing over what we're called. Anyone who finds it offensive or takes issue with it can lead the charge against the name. No one's stopping them. But personally, I'm not going to pick a fight over something as unimportant as a name. Okay. What's it like living in your caves? Oh, Lann gives you a broad smile. His smile is strange, as if it falters where his human features meet his animal ones. Imagine that in the entire world, there's only a few hundred like you. There's not an inch of fertile ground anywhere, nowhere to grow grain for bread, or cotton and linen for cloth. Your neighbors are beasts who want to eat you, or parasites who want to infect you with their larvae, and then eat you. And it's not that bad, because you can try to eat most of the things that are trying to eat you. Sometimes at the risk of getting poisoned, sometimes with almost no risk at all. In the worst years, there's not a single living thing anywhere to be found, predator or prey. That's when you eat mushroom soup. I'd say 3 times a day, but there was barely enough for once every 3 days. Lann shrugs. But life underground has its upsides, pun intended. There's no risk of losing the roof over your head. There's no bad weather, not counting the earthquakes, of course. Okay, well, how do you tell the... do you have a way to tell day and night? You can't see the sun in your caves. Every Mongol settlement has a big gong, which we treat like a relic. The gong keeper hits it twice a day to mark the beginning and end, but this custom doesn't keep time very precisely. Every Mongol child has snuck up to the gong to strike it at the wrong time at least once, just out of pure mischief. Nothing could keep me away from it, not even the fact I only have one ear, which means it would take double the punishment once I was caught. So sometimes the wrong strikes get mixed in with the right ones, and the tribe can find itself jumping up to greet the morning in the middle of the night. Oh my gosh. That's really funny, though. Are you really the descendants of the first Crusaders? More like demon spawn, aren't we? Sad but true. Without the demons, there would be no mongrels. It's the magic of the whirlwind that affected our ancestors, and made their children the way we are. Like most in our tribe, Chief Saul fancies himself a descendant of the underground Crusaders. The ones our heroic ancestors left to guard the caves. I don't know if it's true or not. That angel came to our caves for a reason. Maybe he remembered us? What is it? That's okay, just telling us that he's a leader. Those were evil and dangerous times after the First Crusade. Hundreds of Crusaders began having children, and the babies were born with fangs and horns and warts that covered half their face. People didn't like the new look. The Inquisitors sure didn't. So our ancestors fled persecution and made a home for themselves down there, under the ground. They probably intended to find a cure for their children and hoped to return in time, but it never happened. Instead, the Whirlwound's terrible legacy was passed down from generation to generation. Mongrel parents can only guess what their child will look like. Each of us is born with a new mutation. Many mutations are fatal. Lann stops, then goes on quietly. Down in the caves, we usually don't congratulate the family for the birth of a child until they turn at least 3. Most don't even get a name before that, and there's no point. Huh. Well, it hasn't been that long since the First Crusade. Why do you know so little about your ancestors? Our lives are much shorter than most uplanders. Up here, only a few generations passed, and many still live who remembered old Sarkoris as it stood untouched by the demons. Queen Galfrey, for example. But where we live, mongrels start getting old much earlier than humans, much faster, and with more devastating consequences. Few live past 40, and fewer still live long enough to die of old age. Hunger, disease, and monsters from the deep are more effective killers than time. So for us, the story of the First Crusade is a legend that happened generations ago. There are no living witnesses. We have a tale of the wise and great ancestors who left us to stand guard in the catacombs. But in reality, I suspect they were desperate wretches who couldn't figure out how to dispel the demonic plague, and who were abandoned by their own kind. That's so sad, Lann. I'm so sorry. Put your head. Do mongrel tribes fight each other? No, there were some skirmishes, and I've been forced to kill my kinfolk before too. Lann speaks in a steady voice. Fights most often break out over food. We have laws in the caves, written and unwritten rules that we follow. We respect one another's right to live, but hunger, it can push a person over the edge. I've never, you can count on that, stolen someone else's kill. But I can understand those of my kin who tried. To hear your kids begging for food and not be able to feed them is terrifying. He frowns and goes silent. Thank you. I found out everything I wanted to know. So nosy. It's nice to know my ramblings seem useful to somebody. Oh, I love you, Lann. Thank you for your answers. Avenia? And Nevia? Everyone's Avenia. Nevia in her muted colors blends almost perfectly into the background. She appears relaxed, but her seemingly unfocused eyes are taking in everything around her, tracking and filtering potential threats. The only tell is the way she drums her fingers on her hip near her weapon sheath. She shows no sign of her injuries and confidently leans on her previously broken leg. She pretends to have just noticed you, even though she watched you approach from afar. Oh, hey, see how they patched me up? Now I can run, jump, or dance a jig if I feel like it. Nice, nice. Are there any suspicious places in the city that I should be paying attention to? There were a couple spots I wanted to check out, but I didn't have time. If there really is a den of cultists there, it would be good if you could swoop in there and bust some heads. You don't even need a search warrant. And Nevia shoots you a crooked smile. First one is the Silken Thread. It's a funny little tailor shop that doesn't take any orders and never buys any fabric, but they always seem oh so busy. They're busy with something in there, all right, but sewing ain't it. Okay. Second one is the alchemy shop, Topaz Solutions, and they trade in everything, not just healing potions. Judging by the ingredients they've been buying on the black market, there's something fishy about the alchemical rituals going down in that place. All right, sweet. Tell me about yourself. She shrugs with a lazy smile. I'd be happy to, but there's kind of nothing to tell. What's so interesting about me? Well, where are you from? Nowhere. I was blown in by the wind and found in a cabbage patch. She stops short. Sorry, that's an old habit of mine. I don't like blabbing about my past, but you saved my skin, so I guess I kind of owe it to you. Not to clown around, right? I'm from Nidal. Where's Nidal? It is one of the oldest surviving countries in Avistan, having been founded during the uncounted years of the Age of Darkness. Even though it is now beholden to the neighboring infernal realm of Sheliax, it retains significant autonomy to pursue its own shadowy goals. And I wouldn't wish my homeland on my worst enemy. You've heard of the place, I'm sure, ruled by monsters that aren't alive nor dead, and the official religion is the cult of Zon-Kuthon. Zon-Kuthon. The deity Zon-Kuthon, also known as the Midnight Lord, the Dark Prince, and the Prince of Pain, god of darkness, envy, loss, and pain, possesses one of the most twisted and evil minds in the great beyond. His position as god of pain is well earned, and he has been the root of countless tortures, murders, and worse throughout time. He was once a benevolent demigod named Dobral, but was corrupted when he traveled to the far dark places between the planes and returned in his current form. His half-sister, Shellen, still holds out hope that she can redeem him, though the Lord of Shadows shows no sign of remorse or compassion. I grew up in a slum, like a weed between the cobblestones. I didn't have a dad, but I had lots of aunts and uncles, my mom's cronies. No prize for guessing the kind of business she was involved in. They gave me a set of lockpicks as soon as I could hold a spoon, and while other kids were picking their noses, I was picking pockets. When I was 12, the monks of the Silent Shroud came for us. Creepy guys with their mouths sewn shut. They're the guards in Nizrock. Mom gave me to her friends, and we hid in a secret temple of Desna. I never saw my mom again. I lay low in the temple for the next few years, kept my head down. I washed floors, fetched water, listened to sermons. Funny thing, after a while, I started liking Desna's teachings. But as soon as I was old enough, I was out of there. I left Nidal and got as far away as I could. Right? Quite the ragtag group you've got here, from nobles to street thieves. You got that right. Only the best for you. What do you do if the knights and nobles fail to save the world? The lowlifes are our only hope. And how did you meet Erebeth? I was bumming around Taimon a while back, doing this and that. Dozen temples sometimes gives me odd jobs. You know, sometimes they needed people with skills like mine. On the surface, it was fine, I guess. After Nidal, the freedom of River Kingdom should have seemed like heaven, my chance to sit back and enjoy life. But I wasn't happy. There just wasn't any joy in my new life. I was all alone. No one cared about me, and I didn't care about anybody either. I struggled to find a reason to drag myself out of bed every morning. Tying a stone around my neck and jumping into the nearest river started to look pretty appealing. One day, I was hired to follow some fellas who the local authorities suspected were Razmarin spies. The realm known as Razmarin was once just another turbulent, violent river kingdom, the Archduchy of Melkat, where leadership changes often as the years. This ended in 4661 when the land was conquered by Razmir, a tyrant claiming to have ascended to godhood. I was stupid. I made a rookie mistake and they caught me. It's like my body had already decided to do what my mind had been fighting, to finally put me out of my misery. Get someone else to kill me, since I didn't have the guts to do it myself. They grabbed me. I thought they'd get me on the spot, but instead they hog-tied me and dragged me off. And just like an animal going to the slaughter, my only thought was, let's get this over with. They brought me to their stinking cave, threw me on their altar, and I realized who it was. Kuthites from Nidal. They tracked me down after all those years. But I didn't care anymore. Who wouldn't even have cared if they'd eaten me or whatever? We all gotta go sometime, right? So I was lying there, staring at the knives pointed at me, when fate rolled the dice and I hit the jackpot. Erebeth. There she was, storming into the cave. Picture it. I'm lying on an altar with all those knife-wielding maniacs around me, and suddenly Erebeth storms in. I thought it was Iomade herself, fierce in her shining armor with her gleaming sword raised. She made quick work of those scumbags, chopped them up just like that. I didn't even have time to blink. She untied me, and then... Anevia's face lights up as she chuckles. She looked through the papers they had on the table, and she started swearing like a sailor. So much for Iomade. Well, how did you and Erebeth end up in Canobras? After almost becoming a human sacrifice, I knew I never wanted to leave Erebeth's side. Desna knows I fell for her instantly, and I fell hard. My misery was gone, and when Erebeth showed me what was in those papers, proof that the cultists had a nest in her home city, well, I offered to help her without a second thought. Anevia smiles warmly. She must have figured I couldn't wait to get my revenge on the cultists. But I didn't give a damn about them. It was her. I'd go anywhere with her, even on a crusade or into the jaws of a dragon. But I took to life in Canobras like a duck to water. I used to be an outcast wherever I went, but half the crusaders are the same. After all, who'd volunteer to tangle with demons on the edge of the abyss? You gotta be either a goody two-shoes with too much honor and free time, or a misfit with no life out in the normal world with normal people. People come here to run away from their debts, their past, from themselves. So I fit right in. What's it like living with Erebeth? It's like living. Without her, I wouldn't be. Seriously, if I were alone, I'd definitely be gone by now. Sure, sometimes we argue, can't deny that. Sometimes we bang our fists on the table and yell so loud that the walls shake, but that's all about order business. But at home, well, I'll give you an example. I've kind of always wanted to move out of that broom closet we call a house and into something cozier. It ain't like they take a vow of poverty at the Eagle Watch. But every month, somehow most of our spare money is spent on crusader business. Sure, I get mad about it, but Anivia makes a helpless gesture. It's part of why I love her so much. You know, Erebeth has that thing that matters most for a person, a purpose in life. She's always got a reason for whatever she's doing. Her whole life is a crusade, and I just drifted around like a leaf in the wind until Desna brought us together. Now she's the meaning of my life, so it really makes no difference if we live in a mansion or under a bush. Well, thank you for your answers, Anevia. Thank you for asking. Telling you all this kind of made me feel better. What about your responsibilities in the Eagle Watch? Anevia smiles evasively. Nothing official. I'm not even a knight, you know. I just hang around. You sure you want to know the details? Catching traitors and spies and cultists is no walk in the park. It's a delicate job. You can't always do it all within the letter of the law. What if we surprise some suspicious blighter with an official search? Everyone will know about it before long, starting with their cronies. And again, sneaking into people's houses at night ain't exactly legal. Crusaders can't be doing stuff like that, can they? Well, I'm not exactly a knight. She trails off. Thanks, Anevia. All right, you watch yourself now.